Hello everybody and welcome back to Susy B Lifestyle. So today I'm going to do a get ready with me makeup look with emphasis on a kind of soft but lifted lip with just a very kind of natural makeup. And then this afternoon we're going to head into the garden and pick some courgettes. I've got some lovely courgettes ready and we're going to come back into the kitchen and make a really lovely healthy snack of courgette fritters. So let's get started. I always start in the morning with just very basic, simple skin preparation. And that usually includes a mist of some sort or a hyaluronic acid serum. And then I go in with a primer of some sort. And I do really like the VIEVE Skin Nova primer. I have an extra large size, so it's going to last me a long time. And it just makes my makeup sit properly on my skin all day long, and I feel hydrated as well. I don't really like heavy foundation, so I mix my colours in a little pot like this, and I just like a kind of light tint to the skin with a touch of concealer, especially underneath my eyes, and that's me for the day then. For my brows, I like to kind of keep them soft and natural, and I just want them to kind of just frame my face really, and just give them a little bit of shape, the face a little bit of shape without being too harsh. So I just go in with a pencil, give them a little bit of a spoolie brush, and then I use just a brow lamination over the top just to kind of keep them where they should be during the day. And that's it for brows. I think it makes all the difference. For the eyes, I just take a matte light shade of some sort. It doesn't really matter what make it is, but just a matte light shade. And I do particularly like the VIEVE palette that I'm using at the moment. And I just take this across the lid because it just brightens it and it just smooths the base of my lid as well. And then I take a darker colour. I go into the crease, not too much. Looks like a lot at the moment, but I'm going to blend it out. And I'm going to blend it softly upwards into the crease. And what this does is it lifts and adds definition to the eye as well. I'm going to take the same colour now and just blend it under the lower lash line, and it just gives a little bit of smokiness. I like it for this time of year. In the summer, I probably wouldn't wear anything underneath the eye, but this time of the year, it's quite nice to have. And then I'm going to take a waterproof eyeliner, and I did this in my last video. I showed you this little trick of lining the waterline, especially if you have hooded eyes. If you're going to start lining on top of your lash line, that your eye could get a little bit heavier, or the look of the eyelid could get a little bit heavier. And this is a really nice little trick. You got to practice a little bit so you don't poke yourself in the eye, but it works really nicely for liner. Then another one of my little touches, which I mentioned in my other video, go into more detail in my other video, is just putting a champagne colour or a light colour on the inside of the eye towards the nose. And this just makes the eyes look brighter and fresher. So my mascara is on. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of bronzer because I still want to look a little bit healthy. I'm starting to look paler because I've stopped using my tanning drops for a while. I've just forgotten to put them on. So a bit of bronzer. Then the blush is just going to go quite high up here. Cheekbone and the apple just gives a nice natural lift as well. Right, now let's talk about lips. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the center with a liner of some sort. Here. It kind of sets the base of the lip and the colour. so that if I'm going to add a deeper pencil, it just makes it, it defines it, and it doesn't actually get really overpowering as well. Okay, so now I am going to overline my lips. I've got a little mirror down here, so I'm going to do it here. And over the Cupid's bow here, I'm going to round it out. I'm not going to keep it sharp. And what that does is it softens the lip. You can see I've done the top here. Already I'm starting to get definition. I've got very thin lips and I'm quite creased on the top as well. There's a nice little product that you can use for that, which is a Trini product, and it's called Miracle Blur, and it works really well. You just put it on your top lip. So that's the liner. Here's a little tip for you. If you get a concealer, a brightening concealer, I'm just going to put a bit on the back of my hand and do a little bit on the outer edges of the lip, and then blend it. I'm going to do that with my fingers actually, like so. It takes the shadow away from the outer corner of the lip, and it actually lifts it as well. You can do a little bit, I've got it on the back of my hand, on the Cupid's bow as well. And again, it lifts everything. And then you've got a choice. You can either then follow with a lipstick if you want to, or you can just leave the liner as it is. I'm going to leave the liner as it is. And again, just refill in. I try and do like little wispy bits instead of dragging the lip, because that's quite natural. But I always finish with a kind of lip oil or a lip plumping product, and I've got quite a few. So I'm just going to put on this neutral one. This is a Beauty Pie one. I rather or a lip oil than gloss, because it kind of keeps everything hydrated and plump without it looking really artificial. A lip oil is also really comfortable to wear. And this one from Beauty Pie, oh, don't worry, because I'm going to link everything below for you, is really lovely. And that's a really natural lip for you. I will take a photo and put a photo up on the screen for you. But it is a really natural lip that is quite lifted. And again, I will put all the products that I've been using down below as well. But there you go. Now I'm just going to finish my hair, and here we are. Natural, soft, and lifted look. So I've finished with my clients and I've come out again into the garden. I want to make as much as I can of this weather, even though it's a little chilly, I must say, in the air, which brings me to my chilies here. Every day I'm harvesting something now, and it is chili time. And as you can see, I have a lovely array of chilies in there. The jalapenos, these are cayennes. So you know when you go to the supermarket and you get cayenne pepper in those little jars, well, that's cayenne. And then these ones here are lemon drop, and they're called lemon drop because they are very citrusy and delicious, and we dry those as well and then make them into chili flakes. But I did notice on the way down that I have got a courgette ready in the garden. I picked a few the other day, and I've got another one ready in the garden, and this courgette plant has been growing for months and months and months. So So I need to go and pick the courgette before the slugs and snails eat the courgette. And then I'm going inside and we're going to make some courgette fritters in the air fryer. I start by grating the courgette and then I try and squeeze out as much liquid as I can as possible, and this is the key to keeping the fritters crisp. Okay, so the first thing I do is I crack an egg into this. I then add a mix of spring onions and some crushed garlic, and then plain flour and some baking powder. And I mix this all together with a spoon. Then I add parmesan and a little bit of pepper. Now I like to shape them into little patties and pop them into the air fryer with some baking parchment on the bottom. I am going to make 6 quite large ones. I'm going to put these on now for about 10 minutes at about 190 Celsius. Delicious! So that's my everyday makeup with a lifted lip and a quick snack from the garden to end the day. Thanks for following along, and don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up for more seasonal living, beauty and lifestyle. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!